Frank Goya, who was known affectionately online as CrankThatFrank, created his channel in January of 2009 and deleted his entire online existence sometime in 2022. Social Blade last counted his YouTube statistics on April 21st of 2022. But why would someone with 700,000 subscribers at their peak just disappear? It turns out it was seemingly a long time coming. This is the online disappearance of CrankThatFrank. Frank started out his venture onto the internet as a Viner in 2013, technically, after MySpace of course, that being where the username came from, with many if not all still publicly available on Vine. He, as many before him did, started moving over to YouTube to make longer form content. His first video was entitled My First Video Cereal Can Save the World, which was uploaded on September 21st, 2013. Unfortunately, a copy of it, to my knowledge at least, doesn't exist. But the thumbnail does, so here's that. There's also a brief clip of the video in The Drunk History of CrankThatFrank, which has since been re-uploaded online. A lot of his videos have been lost since he deleted his channel, but the Vines offer some insight into the content, or at least personality at the time. In my research, I found a video of him from November 2013, which was the earliest YouTube video I could find in full. It was a video with Eva, who we'll talk about a bit later in the video, and the video was called Photo Booth Challenge. Fortunately though, there's a record of almost every video, but the majority don't have the thumbnail visible, nor are they viewable. I was able to find the photo booth challenge via a VK page about Frank from around that time, and then putting the video links into the Wayback Machine. The photo booth challenge was a good indication of Frank's content at the time. It was basically a lone American version of the Brick Crew of old, doing challenges, story times, and advice videos, on YouTube at least. The first Wayback Machine archive of his channel comes from April 2014, with nothing being viewable outside of the profile picture and the banner, but it does offer a little insight into a series that he was making that would be his first real foray into an original series. The video of My Favorite Anime started a series called Anna Monday. It also shows that he used to call his fans Franksters. Anna Monday was seemingly sponsored by Crunchyroll, at least a few of the episodes I found were, and lasted an unknown amount of episodes, but there were at least 10. These being the aforementioned My Favorite Anime video, along with 2 Sword Art Online videos, and the videos going over Death Note, Sailor Moon, Ruby, Hunter x Hunter, Tokyo Ghoul, and Parasite. The series finished in early 2015. 2014 also saw the start of the Reading F'd Up fanfiction and Reading F'd Up tweets series, which also didn't seem to last too long either. Those series, along with him trying his hand at gaming, were all pretty much dead in the water around 2016. In 2015, Frank's variety content would hit a sweet spot with the collection of people known as FAN, E-H-A-N, fans of Dan Howe and Phil Lester, also known as Dan and Phil or Dan is known via an Amazing Phil, as everyone had quirky names back then. Frank had worked his way into the fandom in 2015 after discovering them through Tumblr. Sometimes afterwards, as both Frank and Dan used YouNow, which we'll talk about later, Frank became the top fan of Dan, which I assume is a way of saying he gave him the most money in a set period. Dan responded to this live on YouNow and even quote-unquote watched him, to which Frank posted to his channel. A month and a half after he posted that video, Frank had gone from 42k subs to 188,000. Although views of that video are hard to pinpoint due to the current state of the channel, it being deleted I mean. At least in regards to the jump from 42k to 188k, as it does appear in a popular videos later. In fact, he was posting so much about it that when you Google CrankThatFrank, Dan and Phil, 2 Twitter results come up complaining about him using them for views. Regardless of this, Frank got a huge influx of followers to his YouTube channel, but he wasn't a fake fan. He even went to a book signing for their book and met them. It was nominated as YouNower of the Year at the 8th Annual Shorty Awards. He lost to the Merrill Twins, if you were wondering. The About Frank section reads as follows and can still be viewed online. Frank Goya, aka CrankThatFrank, likes to make you smile, beginning his online career in 2013 crafting YouTube videos from his New Jersey bedroom. Frank's entertaining daily video blogs, advice segments, and popular torture challenges, such as eating the world's largest gummy worm, They've charmed and grown his online community, with more than 84,000 YouTube subscribers, hundreds of thousands of Vine and Twitter fans, and 1 million Instagram followers. Frank joined YouNow in partnership with the Huffington Post for his livestream show Being Frank with CrankThatFrank. Recently named a YouNow #alternative editor's choice. That YouNow show with Huffington Post, according to DigiDay at least, was a weekly advice show. Also, yes, to clarify, the award was presented in 2016 when he in fact had more than 84,000 subscribers. The Shorty Awards mentions 84,000 subscribers, but at the start I mentioned 700,000. Let's take a look at what made Frank even more popular on YouTube. Unfortunately, other sites like YouNow don't really have archives of such, so it's difficult to find footage from them outside of YouTube compilations. While challenges were generally a mainstay during Frank's entire time on YouTube, so was series, but a few in particular launched his channel into a new realm of popularity. At around 100,000 subscribers, Frank made a video entitled Try Not to Laugh Emo Edition. Through 2016 he really leant into the whole emo thing, and it really worked for him. Although, admittingly, his most viewed video at the time and potentially ever was a Dirty Truth or Dare. It was later taken down and cannot be seen in the most popular videos from 2020 onwards. He also did a reaction to Poppy at one stage too. On July 29 of that same year, he uploaded the first episode of his Try Not to Cringe Emo Musically Challenge series, which would rack up 400,000 views in 7 months, and soon enough he was doing them once a week. Despite the popularity of the series, it was retired when Musically rebranded into TikTok. I don't have a definitive number of Musically cringe episodes, but the save of a video from late 2018 shows that there were at least 56. The video where it shows that at least 56 were made was the recommended of a video that was of course the first episode of the TikTok Try Not to Cringe series, which didn't last as long. Towards the end of 2016, he started a series of reactions called Reacting to Emo Bands on Crack, which was another long-running series of his, with 67 episodes made, with there only being 3 episodes in 2019 and the last 2 being in 2020, which we'll talk about soon. And yes, that series is the core reason why I made my Poppy Marzago on Crack videos all those years ago. Other notable series from around that time were Try Not to Get Angry Challenge and Reacting to Songs I've Never Heard Before, which both lasted a few episodes. There were also false accusations that were made against him. I won't go into detail, but I just wanted to mention it very briefly so you know that I'm not just avoiding it. I also couldn't find a saved copy of his response to it. He did respond to it, but I didn't want to talk about it without having his response in front of me and giving a full breakdown of it if I want to talk about it. He also did a tour in 2018 called the Kinda Emo Tour with his at the time girlfriend Eva. He had gone from 300k subscribers in early 2017 to, by mid-2020, more than doubling that and surpassing 700,000 subscribers, and then he quit YouTube. But that isn't where the video title comes into play. Let's talk about why he quit and what led up to it. I would like to draw attention to 3 specific videos. Why I stopped making emo videos from April 2019, along with I'm quitting YouTube and I quit YouTube and this happened from 2020. Why I stopped uploading also fits into this section, but I can't find a copy of it so I can't talk about it unfortunately. Why I stopped making emo videos went over why Frank stopped making emo-centered videos, as the title suggests. He mentions that around the time the video was uploaded, he was getting 1 to 3 videos a day copyright claimed. That at a point he had over 100 videos copyright claimed, meaning that the series he had made, like the aforementioned Emo Bands on Crack and Try Not to Cringe Musically series, were making him absolutely no money anymore. He goes into detail about how it was manually detected and people are going after his videos from the labels and aren't taking fair use into consideration at all, which to be fair to Frank is still an issue. They were even doing it over a single second of a song. He also talks about the risk of fighting these unjust copyright claims and how it could lead to his channel being terminated if he fights them. That they could strike him instead of a copyright claim, they'd file a copyright strike instead, and that he could lose his channel as a result. This video and copyright claims basically killed every long-running series he had, although he did try to combat it with videos like Guess the Emo Songs from 3 Words. He had to change his content because he was essentially forced to because of the copyright landscape. in 2019, although I did previously mention that he did make 2 emo bands on Crack videos in 2020. I'm quitting YouTube, unlike every other video, perfectly explains why he disappeared. In the video he explains that he's having a month off social media, that he wants and needs to quit YouTube, that although his content doesn't reflect it, he's very unhappy and his mental health is in a bad place, and he feels as if he can't make the videos people want because of that. I was hopeful that time off would help with that feeling. He felt pigeonholed into making emo videos even though it felt like a chore to him. That it got to the point where he was essentially masking his personality, that his content hadn't changed since 2016. It all just came to a head at the point of that video. He also stated the negative effect that Twitter had had on him over time, which I could probably go more in depth about, but I won't. I'm sure you can probably find all about it if you look. But the video also said that he had something coming out on the 5th of May, which is where the next video, I Quit YouTube and This Happened, comes into play. I Quit YouTube and This Happened was essentially a Q&A, but it wasn't a month after, it was 2 months, as a horrible event happened on the 5th of May that led to Frank respectfully pushing back the Teased project, which, by the way, was his band. He made a band called Banter Void. He stated that he was feeling better mentally after his break. He also stated that he couldn't see himself coming back to YouTube the same way as before, and that he was trying to please the algorithm even though it became detrimental to his own mental health. He also said that he didn't want to abandon the channel even outside of putting the band's music on his main channel. He still wanted to make content, but he'd be stepping away from emo content. Although he continued to upload a few songs from the band prior to the channel's deletion, there wasn't another video of him just sitting and talking. He did keep streaming on Twitch after this video for almost a year, with his last stream being April 4th, 2021. I don't know anything about why he stopped streaming, and I don't think there's any accounts as to what happened either, so I can't shine a light onto that. But I would assume that he stopped enjoying it too, unfortunately. But here's the last clip of him on Twitch, the most recent one.
All the mods here right now play Minecraft, bestie. Help me. Help me, please. Help me, please. Make a $5. Is it bad that I'm starting to say water like you do? No, it's the correct way. It's the correct way. Water, 100% the correct way, and I will never stop saying it like that.
While I was researching this video, I came across a comment on another video. I like to search videos I'm making to make sure I'm not essentially remaking someone else's video. And I found that no one had deep dived into this specifically, but there was one video that I'll leave in the description called Whatever Happened to CrankThatFrank. The comment reads as follows. Hi, Frank's editor here. I edited for him between 2019 and 2020, and the first video I edited for him was when he played Minecraft for the first time. That dude was so unhappy being on the internet, it genuinely took a bad toll on him. He got constant hate online, Twitter especially, and it made him so damn miserable. He used to stream a lot on Twitch, and I even saved some of his Twitch highlights in my archive channel. It's just unfortunate that he decided to delete every trace of his existence. His entire YouTube channel is now gone, his Instagram, Twitter, everything. It seems like he wants to be forgotten almost. His Banter Void seems to be an abandoned project now. I don't think he'll be forgotten though, especially with how much of an impact he's had on the emo scene. I doubt he'll ever return, but it's honestly for the best. He's living his best life. He's getting married to Eva, which is awesome, and he's going to be in private from now on. That comment was from 10 months ago. I really wanted to dedicate a section of this video purely to Eva, as she was around the whole time and his partner the whole time as well. There were a lot of collabs on Frank's channel with her, with the first one being the Chubby Bunny Challenge, and she was even in some of his old vines. She hadn't uploaded in a couple of years herself up until she recently started posting YouTube shorts. It's said that they got married at some stage after his last YouTube video, but have since divorced. The Instagram for their cats still exists though. Frank has deleted all of his social media accounts currently except for his Twitch, but I don't imagine he'll go back to it anytime soon. Although the social media accounts for Banter Void are still online and were even active as recently as December last year. They also have a YouTube channel, so if you're hoping for Frank content, that's probably your best bet. The comments on my last video about Alex Dorami, which I incorrectly pronounced as Alex Dorame last week, Sorry, I hadn't heard the pronunciation of her last name prior to making the video. There was this comment asking me to look into German emo musician Anna Blue, who I'd personally never heard of prior to the comment. Anna started her music career with So Alone in 2010. She has since gained over 700,000 subscribers on YouTube. She has 200,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, with 7 singles, 2 EPs and an album to her name on the streaming service. Unlike the previous 2 videos, she hasn't deleted her videos or anything like that, she just disappeared. Her last release was in 2019 and she hasn't posted on social media since December 2021. So what happened? This is the online disappearance of Anna Blue. After she released So Alone, these were her next events, according to the bio on her own fan wiki. After a long break from music, she made her tentative comeback in February 2015 with Night, followed by Silent Scream. Angel with Damien Dawn was released in 2016, as well as Every Time the Rain Comes Down. She released one track in 2017 called Where Did I Go? In 2015, she published the first part of her diary, which can be seen as the prehistory of So Alone, leading to the recording of her first song. According to the dates in her diary, she wrote So Alone when she was 12 and released it when she turned 13. I want to quickly mention that there is also mention of activity this year, but there is no reference for it. It's just hearsay and it's not mentioned again in this video. As it is a fan wiki, I question its legitimacy. It's also added by an account called Official Opium, and the Anna Blue wiki is the only wiki they've seemingly contributed to. I don't believe it's real, but I wanted to mention it just in case you saw it and thought, why didn't I mention it? The aforementioned Damien Dawn is an important part of the story, although he disappeared at the same time as Anna, which we'll talk about soon. Damien wasn't a part of Anna's origin, it seems, with him appearing in the music video for Silent Scream in 2016. Although it is theorized that his song Your Heart was made as a response to Anna's debut single So Alone. They continued to collaborate heavily, even releasing an album together called In Two Minds. They were also allegedly dating. So what ended up happening? Well, there's no concrete evidence. I have a theory that I want to share and I believe is a degree of evidence to back it up. It all stems from Anna's last post, because the more you look into it, the more it makes sense. To me at least. This is merely a theory. Anna's last post reads as follows. Dear community, we are reaching out to you with some not so good news. We had to close this store as you knew it at the end of the year. Behind the scenes, we are working on how Anna and Damien will be accompanied in 2022. If you have any questions regarding this store, you can still reach out to us at help@anna-blue.com. Team Anna Blue wishes you a merry pre-Christmas season and stay healthy. Your team, Anna. This is where the rabbit hole really starts. If you go to her website, you see that it's still down, and well, 2022 has been and gone and nothing has come of it. The last visible save, or any save really, of Anna's website gives you a lot of information if you look in the right places. The bottom left of the website shows MEGMBH. From what I can figure out, ME is an abbreviation for Media Elements. The bottom of the site says copyright ME Digital GmbH. And if you follow the lead of Media Elements, their website no longer exists. Either not in the same form or not at all. They have a LinkedIn and the website that is attached to it is mediaelements.digital, which no longer exists as a website. To further back this up, if you go to some of Anna's releases, for example Silent Scream, you will see at the bottom it is copyright Jamstar Records. If you look further into that name, you see on Discogs, they haven't released anything since 9 to 9 with both Anna and Damien. Damien's solo stuff is also Jamstar on Spotify. They largely released Anna's music only and another artist. The Discogs site for the record label also says to email them at mediaelements.digital. There is also mention of Freenet Digital, they were the old name for Media Elements. It's worth noting that Jamstar's parent company is Jamba, who released Crazy Frog. They're the people that did ringtones all those years ago. Their site, www.jamstar-rec.de, also can't be reached. Crazy Frog does still exist but is no longer owned by Jamba. YouTube channels exist for Jamba Berlin and Jamba France, although the most recent upload for either of them is 9 years ago. Although interestingly, the header for both channels features artwork from both Damien and Anna. There are other theories about the relationship between Damien and Anna and what may have happened, even suggestions that they're going to come back. They're just working on a new album, and given Anna has disappeared before, that's not entirely off the table. But if I had to guess, I think that they were run by Jamstar, and it looks like Jamstar just don't exist now, so they went under as a project as well. There's a chance they wanted to continue the music but couldn't get the rights to the intellectual property. Especially given it says in the Instagram post, behind the scenes we're working on how Anna and Damien will be accompanied in 2022. Although that is just speculation, I don't know if we'll hear anything contrary, but it makes sense to me at least. I know that there's things that I left out, like the comic that she made and stuff like that, but I don't feel like all of that is necessary to talk about what happened to Anna Blue. Hello, Editing Me here. I came across this when I was doing the editing. Anna Blue music. Now, what's interesting is anna-blue.de. There's no saves for it on the Wayback Machine. I am assuming this is her original channel. This is the German title for the song, by the way, and interestingly enough, she also posted a preview for the Damien Dawn song. One of her subscriptions is Jessica Dawn. Maybe it was a female counterpart to Damien Dawn. Maybe it was meant to be his sister. I don't know. There's no videos on that channel or anything. This Jamster channel here has similar videos, but this right here is from beforehand. You can see these are 13, that's 12. But this one is just 12. I imagine that this is the first one, and the creation date is also prior to Anna Blue Tube as well. I thought that was somewhat interesting. I also want to quickly mention this. I mentioned this in a screenshot. But if you scroll down here, there's Jaden the Vampire Boy, and I feel like it's maybe the original design, Damien potentially. I have something to show you at the end. Thanks to the person who suggested this video. Hopefully, if you are watching this video, it makes sense to you and you are satisfied with the video. There were suggestions left for another video in the comments of the Alex video, and I will be working on a comment that was left on that for the next video. But if there's other people you want me to look into, just let me know in the comments below. And also let me know what your theories are in the comments about what happened to Anna Blue, because I think it is actually interesting. But I'll see you in the next video. Peace. In the comments of my Alex video, there were two suggestions. One I've already covered, which is Anna Blue. If you haven't seen it, the link is in the description. The other was Leda, who you may know as LedaBunny, Hey Leda Bear, or LedaMonsterBunny. As I butchered Alex's last name, I'm sure you'll let me know if I butcher Leda's. This is a rabbit hole, and it might just be the most bizarre of the episodes done so far. Welcome to the online disappearance of Leda Muir. Leda's online presence started prior to YouTube, on MySpace, as NTO643, which is now known as LedaMonsterBunny, by name at least. There was also LedaMonsterBunny Official, for example, which was linked in the description of Leda effin' Banana. While her name is Leda Muir, LedaMonsterBunny was, according to Wikitubia, due to her drinking Monster Energy, and she was compared to a bunny as a child, and that's the origin of the name, supposedly. Leda effin' Banana was hacked in 2010, and as a result it no longer exists. Although if you want to see it in all its 2010 glory, here it is when she had 6,000 subscribers. Some of the videos have been re-uploaded since by Macy Dino. They're largely makeup tutorials and vlogs. After LFB was hacked and shut down, she ended up creating a second channel entitled Leda Dragon Lady, which according to online posts was hacked, but I can't find any record of it actually existing. The story goes that Leda Dragon Lady was hacked too, and that led to the creation of Hey Leda Bear in September 2010. Interestingly, the start of the description reads, "Hey, I'm Leda. Basically my last channel, Leda effin' Banana, was hacked and deleted, and this is my new channel," with no mention of LDL. Things in the world of Leda were going alright. She was making hair and makeup tutorials and vlogs, enjoying herself. Until 2014. Leda had over 500,000 subscribers and multiple videos with over 1 million views. Unfortunately, she had to remove some videos after becoming partnered on YouTube, which was a lot more difficult back then. The videos had copyrighted music, and she removed a bunch of videos with copyrighted music so that she could make money on her videos. I don't know if it's the same now as it was then. I know it was more difficult back then, but I don't know if you had like a certain amount of videos with content ID claims if they just rejected you. It seems like that might be the case, and that was why she removed so many videos back then. She had left her scene phase in early 2014, but by the end of the year she had shut down the channel. All that hard work, gone. In August of 2014, Leda deleted all her social media accounts entirely due to a mix of personal issues and due to how she was being treated online. According to Wikitubia, they were Hey Leda Bear and her Twitter LedaBunny and her Instagram Skinnin. Wikitubia also states that prior to this date, she had already abandoned these internet profiles. LedaMonsterBunny page, Hey Leda Bear, LedaMonsterBunny, LedaBunny, the MySpace, Level 1 Critter, Skinnin Games, LedaMonsterBunny, and separated by a few. During this time, her friend Kat made a project for Leda. The Wikitubia article states as follows. Leda left YouTube and the internet due to the abuse she received online. Following Leda's final video and the deletion of her sites, her friend Kat launched a project to help cheer her up. The goal was to let Leda know that her fans appreciated all she had done through YouTube and that there were more positives to be gained from the experience than negatives. Kat created this video and several others on the same account, explaining that she wished to create a binder full of positive messages and fan art, which she would then present to Leda. She created a deadline of the 12th of September for these messages to be sent in and included in the project. Many people participated as the project offered closure to her fans since her accounts were deleted. However, Leda was not happy with Kat for doing this and stopped talking to her for a while when this happened. But in 2015, she returned to the internet. In March of 2015, she returned to the internet with a new Twitter and Instagram and even a new YouTube channel, The Leda Bunny, which has since been changed to simply Leda Muir. She returned with the video Hi, I'm Back Babies. Leda continued to upload until 2017, with her last video being where the profile picture for her channel comes from, which is entitled Anime Expo 2017 Cosplay. Over the 41 videos she has publicly on her channel, she gained over 130,000 subscribers. Months prior to the last video uploaded, Leda mentioned that she was working on a book called Moon Cooler, even stating in her last video that she had been very busy writing.
Hey guys, it's Leda. So, sorry it's been kind of a while since I posted a video. I've been doing a crap ton of writing.
In 2018, the first book in the series, Moon Cooler's Stars Wake, was released in April, and the second book in the series, Moon Cooler's Shadows Burn, was released in December of the same year. Although the original tweet mentioned a trilogy, only 2 have been released. She did mention multiple times prior to leaving the internet that she was working on the 3rd book, with this being the last tweet about it. Those of you who have read my books know I paint chapter headers for each chapter. For the 3rd book of the series there are 40 headers, and I've done them all myself. I'm really proud of them, so here are 4 that may or may not show some new characters. The last tweet date was 10 days afterwards, so let's talk about that. Leda's last posts on social media were both the 23rd of January 2020, with the photo on Instagram stating I'm blonde for now I guess, and the Twitter post reading my boyfriend was playing Persona 5 and my cat went straight for Panthers but I'm dead, although her last tweet was technically a reply saying you're the sweetest. There is absolutely no indication of her leaving the internet or why she would. So let's talk about the theories regarding why it happened. If you Google Leda Muir, one of the search results is Leda Muir obituary, along with is Leda Muir still alive and Leda Muir missing. These are the main ones I want to talk about, as all the other entries are similar or a lot easier to answer, like her age and birthday. I have a feeling that the obituary part is where the "is she still alive" and "is she missing" comes into it. But she isn't dead. If you search Leda Muir obituary, you get a result that shows one of her relatives passed away last year. She's mentioned in that, but it's not for her own life. There are almost no results when searching about her missing or if she's still alive, but there are allegedly answers if you look in the right places. Tumblr account called Leda Confessions and Opinions, which is still very active interestingly enough, posted these two posts back to back. I looked up LedaMonsterBunny on Twitter and saw a friend of hers reply to a tweet that was posted in December that she was offline for her mental health, and they last spoke in August, but Leda is doing well. Well, I guess that solves the mystery of why she's been gone and if she has been physically okay this whole time. I really do not blame her, considering some people don't have thick skin for all the criticism they receive online, and that's perfectly fine. She was always a target for some reason. That same blog, interestingly enough, has posted about Alex, and posted some screenshots that I wish I'd seen earlier and included in my video about Alex. This was the tweet they were referring to, by the way. What is LedaMonsterBunny up to now, because I miss her? And a reply that says she's offline for her mental health. They responded and said, I hope she's doing well. I forgot you were friends. I grew up watching/following her and just randomly thought about her. To which Sage responded and said, I haven't spoken to her since August, but last time we talked, she said she's been doing well. She likes her space, and I respect that. If you question the legitimacy of the account that responded, that's okay. I looked into it, and they've interacted on multiple occasions on Twitter in the past, and even posted phone conversations with Leda. So I choose to believe based on that it's real. So basically, we're going back to what happened in 2015, just for an extended period of time. The Tumblr blog also tried to find where she was through sites like LinkedIn and what she'd publicly shared, although it was unconfirmed if the account was actually her, especially given it was based in Germany. So back to that what you will. I hope that she's well and happy, and if she decides to return to the internet, then hopefully it's a nice return, and maybe she'll make the third book after all. Who knows? And maybe even return to YouTube. Thanks for watching. I recently made 4 videos about the online disappearances of emo YouTubers, these being CrankThatFrank, Alex, Dorame, Anna Blue, and Leda Muir. Although there are others, rather than making individual videos about all of them, I thought I would make a video like this and briefly go over a few people in a single video. There'll be timestamps below, so if there's someone you specifically want to know about, you can go to that specific part of the video or skip others until you get to someone that you're interested in. Felice Fawn has been recommended to me multiple times. I was going to make a video solely about her, but after polling my audience, they said no, which is the main reason why I made this video in the first place. Felice's online presence is quite controversial. Unfortunately, unlike most people I mention, the start of her online career is a bit difficult to pinpoint time-wise, but there's a Reddit post about her from 2014, although her Twitter account was created all the way back in 2009. Interestingly enough, it actually got suspended. So for that reason, I'm going to say that her internet presence goes back to 2009. When you Google her name, you're met with 3 things. I'm not going to go over the TikTok search results in this video, but the other 2 are quite important. Let's start with the third result, which is a Tumblr blog about her being exposed, and although it was already stated at the start, this in particular is where the content warning comes in. There's a little section about where she's now after this, which you can skip to if you'd like. The header for the Tumblr says, Felice Fawn is the alias used by a Tumblr famed woman residing in the UK. She used to be an amateur model, but now she mostly sits around smoking all over her pets, photoshopping herself to look like a different person, purposefully triggering and faking self-harm wounds, stealing people's money with her scam shops, and begging people to buy things off her Amazon wish list. She's a manipulative scammer with hordes of fans that defend her and ignore the truth. This blog is here to expose her lies. Next, I want to talk about a master post from 2013. It reads, con artist, noun, a person adept at lying, cajolary, or glib self-serving talk. I don't know what that means. Scammer, noun, a dishonest person who uses clever means to cheat others out of something of value. Internet scammers who never seem to run out of swindles. If you type con artist into the search bar on Wikipedia, it redirects to this page entitled Confidence Trick. Confidence trick is an attempt to defraud a person or group after first gaining their confidence, in the classical sense of trust. A confidence artist or con artist is an individual operating alone or in concert with others who exploits characteristics of the human psyche, such as dishonesty, honesty, vanity, compassion, credulity, irresponsibility, naivety, or greed. And there's just some stuff about the terminology of what a con artist is. So what they're trying to say here is that Felice is a con artist, basically. And then they show examples. So we start here with example. Felice sets up a Facebook page, a Tumblr, a Twitter, and a company logo for Evil Trinity and Ghostly Chic. Or post pictures of supplies in production with the caption hint. I assume that's what this is. Approach. The manner of getting in touch with the victim, often most elaborately and carefully prepared. Since her blog is the platform she uses for her scams, she can approach thousands of people by posting about a product. Be assured that she spends a lot of time carefully plotting out when the right time will be to introduce a new line or endeavor to her audience. Usually immediately after some quote-unquote health crisis she'll post about. Build up. Rousing and sustaining the interest of the victim. Introducing the scheme to him, rousing his greed, showing him the chance of profit and filling him so full of anticipation and cupidity that his judgment is warped and his caution thrown away. And then they refer to this. It says, so Ghostly Chic contacted me today and is sending me the Wednesday vest for free. I've missed words in my speaking because you can see them. I don't want to get the video demonetized, and they're not overly important to the story anyway. And then a screenshot of a tweet from her which says ghostlychic.com are currently looking for bloggers to help promote their brand and are offering payment or products in return. Payoff or convincer. An actual or apparent paying of money by the conspirators to convince the victim and settle doubts by a cash demonstration. In the old Banco game, the initial small bets which the victim was allowed to win were the payoff. In stock swindles, the fake dividends sent to stockholders to encourage larger investments of the payoff. They say Lauren because apparently her name is actually Lauren. Lauren convinces her followers that her company is legitimate by posting photos of herself in the product for sale, repping Ghostly Chic. Then there's a photo, there's another one. It says totally in love with my new top from ghostlychic.com. The hurrah, this is like something that I'm not going to pronounce in a play, and no con scheme is complete without it. It's a sudden crisis or unexpected development by which the sucker is pushed over the last doubt or obstacle and forced to act. Once the hurrah is sprung, the victim is clay in the schemer's hands, or there is no game. She posted a tweet and said, when there's no food to eat and you can't even order any online, give up. There's other posts that say things like, go to the doctors today to see if I need to go to hospital or not, really nervous, don't want to go, sad face. Anonymous asks, I feel sad, you've had such terrible experiences, you seem like such a lovely individual. To which she responded, I never know how to react to people who unexpectedly look deeper and are actually genuine, thank you. Followed almost immediately by items now on sale / reduced prices at felicefawn.bigcartel.com. Evil Trinity posted the 10% sale ends today. Get your hands on the last of our limited stock. The in and in. This is the point in a con game where the conspirator puts some of his money into the deal with that of the victim. First, to remove the last doubt that may tarry in the gull's mind, and second, to put the con man in control of the situation after the deal is completed, thus forestalling a squeal. Often the whole game is built up around this feature, and just as often it does not figure at all. They say this is when Lauren may actually send out 1 or 2 customers their items, or send out a few tracking numbers to assuage any doubts, further the idea that her store is legitimate and that other customers who ordered from her just need to wait a little longer, usually until 45 days have passed since the transaction occurred, thus making it impossible for said customers to open a PayPal dispute for not receiving their items. She then pockets their money and their items never arrive. Con is now complete. In conclusion, do not fall to a con artist, do not give your money to a scammer, do not buy from any Felice Fawn stores. There is even more on this blog, but this is just something that I wanted to go over because I thought it was really important to the story and kind of gets the point across without having to just go through everything. I don't want to go too into the alleged pro-Anna side of the controversy. It's alleged that she photoshopped at least some of her photos to appear thinner, which wasn't too uncommon back then and probably still happens today. Interestingly though, on a website called Carbon Made, she has a listing and she's listed as a fashion photographer and retoucher. I'm not sure how to go about showing an example, but this is allegedly an example I found online. The post where the photo came from says something like her nose magically got smaller. There's an Instagram called Felice Fawn 666. Which I think gives the answer of where she is, or what happened to her. Her last save to her highlights was under 40 weeks ago, so based off that, I think she's all well and good. Samm was suggested in the comments of the Alex video, as one of the Alex videos I showed had her in it, which I didn't realise at the time. Samm created her own channel in mid-2013. She made vlogs and gained 120k subscribers. Fortunately, there's very little existence of her main channel that still exists, although something that does exist is a couple of saves on the Wayback Machine from when she had just over 6,500 subscribers. Unfortunately, none of the links work on the Wayback Machine to her videos. In saying that, if you Google the channel URL, you can find her social blade, which shows that she deleted her channel in 2017 when she had 125,000 subscribers and over 1.7 million channel views. Some videos of her are still online, although these, from what I can tell, are with her at the time partner, Jaden Whale, who is now simply Luke Whale. I've had conflicting information about her appearing in My Digital Escape videos. This page channel has My Digital Escape in the title on a video about Samm and Jaden, although I can confirm she did feature in at least one, although it no longer exists on YouTube, although its existence can be confirmed on the Wayback Machine. Since deleting her channel in 2017, it seems as if she's just disappeared. From what I know, there aren't any updates, but I do hope she's well. Although a Reddit comment said that she may have died, but of course, take that with a grain of salt, it is Reddit after all. But I'm not sure it's true, because I feel like if it did happen, that it would have been confirmed or it would have been news. This was suggested in the comments of the Leda video, and that is Hosie, which is short for Josephine. It seems as if she's gone down a similar path to Alex, but let's catch up on who she is. The comment said that she was associated with someone called Nugs. From what I can see from the hashtags in this photo, this is NuggyX. And I thought she too had simply disappeared, but it turns out that sadly she actually died. I don't know where to start with Hosie because I can't pinpoint a time when she started having an online presence, a bit like Felice. I can't find a record of a YouTube channel either, so it's tricky to know where to start. She's taken a page out of Alex's book and privatised her Instagram with the handle Hosie_, although there are 179 posts, so she may be active. It has been active somewhat recently, depending on your version of what recent means, and you may be saying, well, how do you know if her account's private? Well, there's one link associated with the account, and that takes you to a shop of hers, and what's for sale is a painting, and it's still for sale even. Although strangely enough, the Instagram account linked on the website, I don't believe is actually her, and it's not a link to the Hosie_ either, which is strange. Although in saying that, the Twitter link is different again. It links to Hosie_ on Twitter, which joined just last year. It has no tweets and one link to a mature site. Let me know in the comments though what you think is real and what isn't, because I, in this case, have absolutely no idea. The last thing I want to talk about in regards to Hosie is something I barely mention in these kinds of videos. TikTok. There's an account called Josephine_Nicole26. His screen name is actually Josephine Nicolo22. Although I'm skeptical, to be honest, the profile picture is from 2015 for starters, and on top of that, they're all just photos with music over them. There's not a single actual video. I haven't seen some of the photos, but I imagine they were taken from her Instagram that's private, and because it's private, that's why I haven't seen them and they're not publicly available anywhere else. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. There was originally going to be one other person, but I decided not to include them because they weren't emo actually, and I thought the video was long enough anyway. Don't forget to leave a comment if there's someone you want me to make a video about, because I do look into them, but sometimes I, after my research, decide that there isn't enough to warrant a video, or I just can't find out anything really, so I can't dive deep into the topic like I would like to for a video. But sometimes like this, there's like 3 people who there isn't really enough to warrant a full video about, or there isn't enough information at least, and they just get put into one video. But yeah, hopefully this has been a better viewing experience than it would have been just having 3 separate videos that were shorter. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you soon for more. Sarah Christine Fowler, also known just simply as Sarah Fowler, was suggested in the comment section recently. With a little research, I found out that she is often compared to Alex Doré, although that was said in the comment as well. I've made a video about Alex previously, although I hadn't heard of Sarah. But let's talk about her online disappearance. Sarah started her channel on August 23rd, 2014, and prior to the channel disappearing in 2021, she had 55k subscribers, uploaded 43 videos, and had 1.4 million views on her channel, according to Social Blade. I say that the channel disappeared, but there's conflicting information about that, because if you go to the channel, it says this channel is not available via the URLs that are available at least. There's a link to a video of hers that I found on the Wayback Machine, and it says that the video is private, which would imply that the channel still exists, even though it apparently doesn't. From what I know, if there's a video uploaded by a channel that has been removed, it says this video was uploaded by a person who has since terminated their channel or something like that. There's different variations depending on if you deleted your channel or if it was terminated or if you privated it, if it got copyright claimed, if it got copyright strike. None of that implies that she deleted it. Information about Sarah is very scarce since she left, but here's what I found. The Twitter somewhat exists, the alt at least, which you can see here. It links the main account, but that doesn't exist anymore. Although in saying that, the alt account has no tweets, so I guess it does exist, but it's not active at all. The Instagram that was linked to her YouTube before its removal, I don't believe is her. Although the account exists, I assume it was reclaimed, with 0 posts, 0 followers, and 0 following. There's also one save of her Facebook page from 2019 on the Wayback Machine. Although it links one video, it can't be viewed, but it does also link a Twitch account. Although inactive now, it was not linked anywhere else outside of the Facebook page from everything that I came across in my travels. On Twitch, she has 254 followers, but hasn't streamed for 4 years. A fan account exists entitled Sarah_series, which has a bunch of videos of her from social media accounts when she was still active. There's more than one fan account by the way, but that's the main one that I saw. In a save from 2018 on the Wayback Machine, she also listed a YouNow and a Depop. I didn't look into the YouNow, but we'll talk about the Depop a little bit later in the video, towards the end. She was also a part of the Emo Kids Club, which had a Instagram account, which is still up, and a YouTube channel, which is also still up. In the last save of her Instagram account, the bio has an @ which is Bizdo, and it has a heart, and she had posted about Bizdo prior to her leaving the internet. But it seems that he has also disappeared off the internet. Although not all hope is lost, because a lot of bits of content were re-uploaded to a channel that made fan edits of Sarah called Sarah Defense Squad, and she also has a Cameo account, although it's temporarily unavailable and has no reviews ever. Her Ask.fm also still exists, but I don't have an account on there, so I can't read it, but I just thought I'd let you know. Outside of this, I was able to recover one full video on the Wayback Machine, and there are other videos of her on other channels and other people's channels and whatnot that you can watch if you want to see her. The video that I recovered, I don't recall what the video is. I found it when someone mentioned it in the comment initially a few weeks ago, but I don't recall how I got to it. But that's what you can see in the background of the video now. So what happened to Sarah? Why did she leave? And where on earth is she? Well, there isn't too much information, but I did find something that gives answers. As I said before, I talk about her Depop, and it turns out it's very important to this story because it is still active. In fact, it was active today, in fact. And while every main social media account of hers with the old usernames doesn't exist or barely exists in the case of the old account with 0 tweets, it seems like she has changed her name on social media because what is linked in the Depop is a different Instagram account. It's called Sarah MMITG and it's private. MMITG is short for Meet Me in the Graveyard, by the way, which is the username that she used to use back when she was active. A bit like in the Alex video, I am not following her, although I've sent her a follow request, so I don't know how active she actually is, and I don't know if she's done anything recently, so I can't exactly update you on everything. But she does have an account, it does have posts, and it has over 100,000 followers, and I'm pretty sure from what I can tell that she's good, and if she isn't, well, I hope she is, because I wish everyone the best, you know. But if you're wondering about Sarah Fowler, hopefully this video gives you some answers. Let me know in the comment section if there's anyone else you want me to talk about, whether they're emo or not. Thanks for watching this video. Leave a like if you did enjoy, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you soon for the next video.